Hello everyone. Good evening. It's currently Sunday, the 9th of November 2025. Welcome to this new video. This is the first part of this Q4 recap. So we are already more than a month in, and this is only the first part. So yeah, actually, for the past month, ever since I recorded the last part, which I included in the Q3 recap, there hasn't been too many brutal changes. We just keep on going, and yeah, to start with the good news, we made impressive growth in the results. So after months of relentless input, we see the results in a great growth in our margins. Hear me say. We are still actually, to directly dive into the numbers, we ended up October still with a loss, but it was the nearest we have ever been to break even. So yeah, that's it's a big step. I mean, we had a 25% growth in our so-called order margin, which is basically the difference between the revenue deducted by the cost of goods. So that's a really important KPI into our business, since this determines our possible profitability together with the CPA. And this has been a crucial step for us, the increasement of that. We made that happen by removing a lot of our bad performing stylists from the team, and thanks to that and a lot of other relentless improvements that we made, we are getting closer, and we are nearing our break-even order margin. Our CPA is going up and forth too, but all in all, we are getting in more ways of acquiring customers, and therefore stabilizing the CPA. I think possibly if we keep on going like this, I mean, we are only 1 week in November, but we could make our first profitable month. So yeah, realizing that after 1.5 years with a lot of money going into the business, a lot of effort going into the business, because important thing to mention here is that this so-called profit that I'm saying is excluding the salaries for both me, my brother, and my dad too. So all of us are working for literally nothing. Nothing is that's not even true. We are still making losses. As I said, we lost a lot of money, at least for me in this stage of my life. It's a lot of money, and we took relentless risks, but it was always with the unconditional faith, like I always mention, and I still do have that faith. Since the next steps, and that's also what is the point that I want to mention in this video, would be to go talk with our supplier. The supplier is a crucial partner in our business, responsible for the logistics side of our business. And yesterday, at the 8th of November, also my sister made her debut in the arena. Just funny to mention, really proud of her. But next to that, that was also the day that I really saw a potential breakthrough for us in a partnership with our supplier. Our supplier, like I believe I mentioned their name multiple names, but they are a really a big company, to say the least, way bigger than we are, and therefore it's difficult to get them to move into our direction, right? It's difficult, but yeah, I really have the idea that with the plan that we have to approach them and the venture fund that is behind them, we could possibly start working together and truly make an impact into what we want to do. since that's what I believe this is about. I think we could be of tremendous value for each other, and considering that, I think in the bigger picture, it would definitely make sense to find each other and to contribute to the mutual goal that we have. I do see a lot of potential there, and therefore, like when I look at it, and I'm always, let's say, a little naive, but I do actually don't see a specific reason why we wouldn't work together, apart from the fact that we might be too small for them, considering like the amount of money that is going into their business and the amount of revenue that we are doing. But on the other side, I think there is true potential in the way, in the service that we deliver. Ever since we have been starting, we really want to restructure the fashion industry, the way people buy clothing, and that actually, to be honest, that ID only has been growing and growing ever since our company was growing, like that we saw what was going on. Excuse me, that sometimes it's a little dark, by the way, but that only has been growing. That goal and that realization of what we could accomplish, that has been, once we really got into the business, we saw what we could do. Since with the service that we deliver, we make sustainable clothing convenient. We make it possible for people to shop sustainable, and I think we tap into such an emerging market, such an important part. That I think we have to, like, the market is switching into our favor, to say the least, and that the way we do this will be this could be a really big part of buying clothes in the future, with since we are like a so-called circular part of it. Yeah, we have a circular business model in which we basically revive clothes and add another life cycle to the garment pieces, instead of the linear business model where you buy, make, buy, and throw it away. We, like, now clothing is made, it is bought, it is sold, it is bought, and that's, I think, where the future is going towards to. And the way that we shift and position ourselves is making this sustainable clothing, as I said, convenient for the consumers. And this is something where I believe the business, the industry is shifting towards to. And with that in mind, I do really see potential for us to work with this partner, since this is where they are looking for too. But again, it will be difficult, and we have to be strategic. A lot of uncertainties here, but this is the way, and probably also the only way. And that is also to dive into the hard conversations, to say so, that I shared with my dad too, since for him it also has been difficult. Like, he has been putting a lot of time and effort into the company, has been of tremendous value for us with what he did, with what he built. But yeah, considering the fact, like I mentioned, that we haven't been able to be profitable yet, he is just not able to do this anymore. And he really wants to see this shift happening with Selfie, which is also, I think, the way for us to the way where we have to go. But yeah, he also wants to say that once this won't happen, we have to shut the business down, and that's where we don't agree yet, to say the least. He wants that exit to be decided already, so that if that will be happening, we now already say, like, if that happens, we stop. And I find it really difficult to do so. yeah, so that's where we kind of got into a hard discussion just yet, and I think that will be difficult in the upcoming periods of time. But again, it's very uncertain of where we will go, but I do, as I said, I'm really positive about the possibility to work together. But yeah, we have to see what we will do when we won't, and what will happen in that case. Like, that's something we have to see, and yeah, something we just don't know yet. But that's how the business is looking right now. We just keep on pushing and yeah, keep on delivering the relentless inputs. Excuse me, like I'm entering a really dark part of the streets right now, like there are no lights here, but we keep on delivering the relentless inputs like we have been doing, and trust that everything will be all right. That's what we did. That's what made the shift like we experienced, and I do believe that this could potentially also again lead us to where we want to go and where we have to go. We keep the unconditional faith like we always had. We will see what happens, and yeah, as soon as there's any news, of course, I will take you guys along. And with that being said, see you in the next part of the video. Ciao, ciao. Hello everyone, and welcome to a new part of the video. No, I'm not planning to rob someone or to make a heist or something. It's just currently a bit before 8 a.m. And the sun is about to get up here. It's about 0 degrees, so hence is why I'm wearing all these extra layers. But yeah, I would love to share really quickly an update on what's currently going on. Yeah, so I think this could be a really shift in the business, the things that are going on right now, and that this will really dictate the upcoming years. So yeah, personally I would like to start with mentioning that the last weeks have been a little strange, a little difficult for me, since I really started to realize the difficulty of the business that we are in, and also the fact that potentially we would never make it happen. I was always the one that was naive, and not naive but optimistic. Like I mentioned this multiple times in these videos too. I had the faith, I had the belief, and I still do have that. But that's also, the faith has always been there, don't get me wrong, on the bigger picture, but the belief on the how good the business model was and whether we would be able to achieve it with this business, like I started to doubt that. Like honestly, like I have to stay realistic, of course, and always have to balance optimism with realism. And even though like I have no doubts about the fact that we would either way get there, I started to doubt the model. And yeah, since we tried so much and still we haven't been able to get it to work and actually make profits and get the investments that we put in back. And also I think there are a couple fundamental things that are not correct in the business model. Essentially, the price quality of our service is not good enough, so we have to charge too much to our customers, which is leads to decreased customer satisfaction. And we have to charge so much, and still we are not profitable. So that's a big problem. And also the fact that it costs our stylists so much work to assemble a box, we're doubting the scalability of the model. Like when it costs the stylist an hour or 1.5 hours to work on a box, and they can only do 10 orders a week, how scalable is the model? So yeah, we were really doubting that. But as mentioned in the last part, I found the website of the H&M Group PC and what they could do potentially, and I really saw the opportunity for us to work together and to really restructure the industry with the model that we have and with the infrastructure that they have. But then still I was thinking like, okay, we could save a lot of logistics costs here, but still, how scalable is the model? But still, yeah, I think everything is dependent on that meal right now. So that's also why, to get back to what I mentioned in the first sentences of this video, that it has been a bit difficult for me. Yeah, balancing the doubts that I had in the business model and still continue to put in the work, still continue to put in the efforts, but also I have to have my hands tied in a way that, like, I can't brutally innovate and invest like I used to do, because like I'm not sure where the company is around anymore, like 3 months from now. So that also made it difficult, right? When you're realizing that. But we have been putting all the work and still do in this email. We are preparing it. I'm preparing it for so long already. I have been investigating all their articles, their reports, annual reports and such, to understand how we could work together. And I drafted the mail. So I shared that mail with a lot of my relatives, my friends, family, everyone who could have an additional great idea to add into the mail is more than welcome. So then one of my friends, he actually came up with the idea to mention the possibility to implement innovative technology, aka AI, into the model. And when we would do that, it would significantly shift the way we do the business, because the problems that I just mentioned, they will be kind of gone when we would implement AI in a way that we decrease a significant amount of work from the stylist. I'm convinced that we could do 50% of the work from the stylist with the AI once we implement it correct, and that would significantly decrease the cost, which gave us the ability to decrease our prices, and therefore significantly increases our price quality, and therefore satisfaction of the customers, and therefore retention, and every second order consequences that comes with that. Think of, I guess I mentioned retention, but also referrals, also reviews, and also it would significantly increase the scalability of the model, because there's less manual work involved, and there are more systems in place that could do the work, which makes it way more scalable. So actually realizing this, I do really again see the model work. Like, I do have the confidence in the model, in the business model, that we could get this to work. So having that in mind, I reshaped the mail, and I will keep on reshaping it, keep on thinking about it day in, day out for the upcoming days. And we are planning to send it out later this week or maybe next week, and we will see what happens. I mean, still there's nothing tangible, but I wanted to really quickly share the thoughts that I have right now, since the switch that they just occurred in my mind. I think when we could get that to happen with them too, we can convince them to work together and actually, like, really, my hands are freezing, excuse me, really restructure the way we do business and the way the fashion industry works. So yeah, I again see the way for that to happen. And that's also to conclude this part of the video, again getting the realization, again getting the signs that you just have to keep on putting in the input. I still wake up at like 5:30, go to the office and keep on doing the work, even though I don't actually really know what to do. But that puts you in a place where you are open to opportunities, and when the opportunity comes, you're ready to take it. And I think that's also again something I realized, a sign that I needed, that we could make this work. So yeah, with that being said, I'm back at the front door at the office. We'll keep on putting in the work here and we will see where it goes. Still, again, as I said, we have nothing tangible, there's nothing to share about, but this is part of the raw journey, so I wanted to share it with you. And with that being said, see you in the next part of the video. Ciao, ciao. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the new part of this video. I will keep it short. I hope that you're able to hear me well, but I did just really quickly wanted to mention it's currently Tuesday, the 2nd of December 2025. It's a bit after 3 p.m. and I did just send out the mail to the VC group of H&M, who we would love to partner up with to strengthen our businesses and to fulfill the full potential that we are seeing. And yeah, I will keep it short, but it has been some time since I felt these kinds of nerves or so. Like, I mean, I know that whatever is going to happen, it's going to be all right, but this could be, honestly, a life-changing possibility, what we could potentially achieve with this collaborationship. It determines for me personally and for the business the future, since the fact is also that if we wouldn't be able to partner up, there is a high likelihood that we won't be able to continue the business. So yeah, that being said, it will be waiting for their response. It could take a couple days, a week, a couple weeks. We have to see, and we have to keep on going regardless, like we did, like we used to do, and like we will keep on doing. And yeah, if I follow my feelings, I have a optimistic feeling about this. I mean, if I look at the signs and try to connect the dots up front, which of course, like always, is difficult to do, if not impossible, but I see the signs that it would make sense that this would work. But yeah, it doesn't make too much sense to speculate, and as mentioned, we have to see what will happen. But this could potentially be such an impactful event. There's also a possibility that they won't even respond at all, and that in a month from now we have to conclude that this isn't it. But yeah, we will see what happens either way. I wanted to share this moment, since this could potentially be a really big moment, which is part of also the reason why I'm recording these videos. So with that being said, I'm going to turn around and go back to work. But yeah, potential interesting clip, and hence is why I loved to record this part too. So with that being said, I would see you in the next part of the video with, who knows, a really interesting update. We will see. Ciao, ciao. Hello everyone. Welcome to a new part of this video. I will keep it short because honestly I don't really feel like recording this video right now, to be honest. It's currently New Year's Eve, the 31st of December, of course. And it's currently about 9 p.m. So within 3 hours, we will be starting 2026. Yeah, I would love to really quickly give a heads up on how things are doing in the business. I believe the last part of this video that I recorded was at the 2nd of December when I sent out the mail to H&M. We don't yet have a response, so it's 4 weeks ago right now, a month that we sent the mail, and ever since it's pure silence from their side. So yeah, that was the first try, the first part of our plan that apparently failed. No success yet. So that's also the reason why I won't be uploading this video already when we are heading into the new quarter, even though the quarter has ended, of course. Probably I will merge the two because, yeah, of course, with the transparency that I'm sharing in these videos, yeah, if that could have potential negative effect, I don't want to record that. So yeah, I won't do that actually. But other than that, I want to share that I actually recorded a separate video for my 2025 recap. Other than that, I really just quickly want to share how I feel right now personally, because the past 2 months, I would say, and especially the last month ever since the meal, has been quite quiet, in a sense that I've been working a lot, and then I mean like 60, 70, 80 hour work weeks throughout for about half a year or so. And right now I just feel kind of bored. I'm definitely in between phases right now. Since we are waiting for their reply, we don't yet know where we will be going to. I mean, we are completely dependent of their response. But in the upcoming month, there will be more clarity, and from there we can move on, which I'm excited for. I definitely believe that everything happens for a reason, and also this period that I'm more like searching, not knowing exactly where to go, don't have that clear direction which I had throughout this whole year, knowing what to do, working on the business, just being locked in. I don't have that clarity right now, but that will be coming back, and these kinds of phases in life is part of life too. And I think it's just a matter of surrendering with these kinds of phases in life too, which is what I'm doing right now. Truly, I try to focus on other stuff such as my physique, my training. I like to train extra hard, take some extra time for training. I'm training every day right now. Have a sport event planned at the end of March. I'm learning, I'm reading more than I used to do. I'm learning my Spanish, and so on. I keep being, I spend the days, I get through the days. Well, yeah, we are loading this. Excuse me, that's the firework. Well, we are loading the sniper, to say so, to again allocate on a new target. So yeah, I'm excited for that, honestly, since I know whatever will happen, it not only will be for the greater good, but also I will be able to dedicate again. And I think that this year, really like both financially, like there were no outstanding successes besides like a lot of personal progress. I think there were no outstanding external successes, to say so. But I think that, like I also mentioned in my 2025 recap, these kinds of years, these periods are what is shaping your personality. So I'm excited for what's coming, as I mentioned, whatever it might be. And I miss it, that's for sure. I miss the ability to completely lock in, that excitement, that challenge. So, but yeah, you also need these periods to appreciate those periods, to know what you want, get to know what you want. And that's also what I'm trying to take the time for. Try to surrender, try to think, keep on thinking, keep on reflecting and learning. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's the phase that I'm in right now. Again, like, I don't know when I will be uploading this video, but I still wanted to really quickly record what the current phase is. I'm not sure whether you're able, yeah, you see the firework, when I will be uploading this video, but still I wanted to give you a heads up since that's part of what we do. And with that being said, I'm about to go to bed. Actually, I was invited to by a couple of friends from high school, which I do really appreciate their invite. I was there last year too, but yeah, I just didn't really feel like going there. Hence is why I will just spend the night with my dad at home, with my dad, my dog. Like, I'm supposed to do this walk with my dog, but he is not going nowhere right now. Yeah, I will go to bed, get back to work tomorrow, and we will keep on going, you know. The amount of faith that I have on a bigger perspective, on a bigger time horizon, is still unconditional. So I hope that you're able to hear me well, by the way. But excuse me, but that will stay the same. That's unconditional. Even though I'm in it's always a dilemma in which, to which extent you accept the situation as how it is and try to or not try to, but yeah, really believe in things are meant to be, and on the other side, putting in the work and trying to shape reality and change reality. Like, to which extent will you go with the flow, and to which extent will you really religiously put in the work? I do really believe that you gotta, like, input equals output to a certain extent. Of course, there's leverage in between, but that will be a whole other story. But that's something that I'm still, yeah, that's always, to what extent are you able to relax and accept that it's not always on you to determine what's going to happen. I think that's the right way to phrase it. So that's also how I want to end the video, since that's actually how I feel. I also finished my walk and my hand is feeling really cold. So yeah, let's end it up right there. The end of 2025. Excited for what's coming in 2026. We will keep this going. It's part of the journey. And as always, I will keep you guys along and also do that in 2026. Happy New Year. See you again next year. Ciao, ciao. Hello everyone. It's currently Thursday, the 29th of January, 8 a.m. And I really quickly wanted to record this part of the video to mention that in 1.5 hours at 9:30 we're having the call that we so badly wanted. We're having the call with the Chief Business Development of Selfie. And yeah, we will see what's going to happen. But this was what we wanted to. We wanted to get in contact with them and discuss our ideas for the future, how they look like, and how we could potentially help each other. And after mailing the H&M group, we got in touch with an investment manager who forwarded us to this specific person. And yeah, after almost 2 years building on this business, I believe that this is a crucial, possibly life-changing moment on what the future is going to look like for the company and therefore for me, of course, also. So this could be a crucial point in the journey, and therefore I really quickly wanted to record this video before we dive into that meeting. We will see what will happen. We will see what's waiting for us, but all in all, I'm excited. I'm optimistic on how this could end, but either way, we will make the best of it. I'm happy that with this call we get the clarity that we wanted, that we were looking for, or at least I expect, and then we can push on in whatever direction. So yeah, that's what I really quickly wanted to mention and why I wanted to record this before jumping into that call. And I think that in the next clip you will see how that ended. See you in a bit. Hello everyone, and welcome to this new part of the video. The last part I recorded was also while I was seated in this position. And at this seat, it was a bit less than a week ago. We are currently talking the 3rd of February, 8:30. And I recorded the last part of this video just right before I jumped into the call, which we had with Selfie, discussing a potential partnership, a call that we have been working towards for such a long period of time. And yeah, in this part I want to share how that went. I don't know exactly where to start, to be honest. Let's go back to the call that I had on Thursday, and as mentioned, the video that I recorded just in front of it, just before it. I think we were well prepared. We shared him what we did, what our vision was like, and how we could potentially work together, and what we're doing right now. And yeah, I think we had a really viable story, right? Something that works. We believe that from the start, and we have shown that over the past month, in which the results were tremendous. Like, we have been putting in so much effort over the past 2 years to get everything in place we have at this date, and it took us so long to break even. At first we have been making losses like for 2 years each and every single month, but January has been our first profitable month, and that's still considering the inefficient ways of working here and there. So we were convinced about that, and the idea that he gave us in the call Thursday was relatively positive. I think he was enthusiastic about certain aspects of our concept. For example, the way in which we positioned ourselves, that we were able to charge basically 5 times the prices that they were able to charge for the exact same clothing, due to the service that we had. But also, on the other side, he had some concerns, which I think is fair, which I think is realistic. But then where this is about is the mail that he sent afterwards on Friday, 3 minutes before 6 p.m. We received an email in which he basically stated that considering the fact that we were buying as a business on their platform, we were not eligible for any returns, and therefore he wouldn't accept any more incoming returns from us, which really shocked us. We are still not exactly sure why he stated this. I mean, considering the terms and conditions, this is strictly it's correct what he's saying. Like, we are not eligible for returns apparently when buying as a business, but considering the fact that we have been doing this for almost 2 years, and also the fact that we have been in contact with their company before, in which they stated that this was okay, the way we did it, yeah, it was, let's say, not a move that shows that he is willing to work together if he would know what it means for us. So that was also what we tried to say on Saturday, after which he called me and again pointed out that he was not going to accept any incoming returns from us. That really shocked us, since, as mentioned, that would mean that our business falls apart. It's over. Everything we built over the past 2 years, in that case, will be gone, since when we are not able to return the clothing that we get back from the customer, our business model doesn't stick. It doesn't make sense, and yeah, therefore everything we build will be gone. So even though that's been really, it has been hard to realize that, yeah, we also have been realistic all throughout this journey, and yeah, we knew that we were such dependent on them, and yeah, that there due to that there could be a potential ending to the business when they won't be willing to work together with us. But we were not expecting this, also considering the fact that this costs us like tens of thousands of euros, due to the fact that we are not able to return clothes that we bought, and that where we previously were receiving refunds from. And yeah, as he said, that's our problem, but at least it doesn't show, as I said, any willingness from him to work together and to find solutions to work together, which hurts. Yeah, let's say he's not putting himself yeah, in an open-minded position to work together. So, as I said, we are still unsure exactly what the reason is that he took this specific action. So, which is also the reason why we asked him to schedule another call, which will be tomorrow at 9:30. So, a bit more than 12 hours from now, we will have a call with him in which we will again openly share what our thoughts have been throughout this whole process, what our ideas would be for a potential partnership, but also that when we want to work together, we have to continue our business in the meantime, and not accepting any incoming returns from us would disable our ability to do business. Directly completely shuts down our business, and therefore we won't be able to continue with a potential partnership in that case. And I think that even though we have to be able to see those things separately, let's say that if he wants to work together with us, if he's willing to work together with us, he would not be so strict about not accepting those returns anymore. And I think a partner that wants to work together is not going to make such a statement knowing what it does to our business, which is again what we are going to point out clearly tomorrow. And even though he said 3 times that he won't be accepting our returns anymore, we hope from a certain kind of empathy from him, and make him realize that what we can do together, but also that if we want to build on this together, we also have to work together, right, and help each other. So that's what the plan will look like for tomorrow. I think we are well prepared, and want to share openly what our thoughts have been, and make him realize exactly that. Excuse me, there was someone coming in. I think I left the fact that I think we are well prepared for tomorrow, and that's where it's about. We are unsure exactly on how this will unfold, unsure exactly on what this will mean for us, with regards to the future, and also therefore how to proceed from here. But yeah, we will go for our last chance tomorrow, no matter how small that is. Since I think, to be realistic, he will stick to his point, which will mean the end of our company. But in that case, I will get back to that in the video in which we will conclude that. As I said, I think the only thing that matters right now is the call for tomorrow, and as I said, we are well prepared. So yeah, I'm curious on how that will unfold, and of course I will share with you how it went, and also on how we will proceed from there. So yeah, with that being said, as always, thank you for taking the time to to be part of this journey. And yeah, I think I will follow up really quickly on how this unfolded. See you in the next part. Ciao, ciao. Well, hello everyone. I want to record this quick video. As you can see, the sun is shining, and after the clip I literally recorded yesterday, but they just came off the call which we had with Selfie, and I will keep it short. I'm walking back to the office and there are things I have to put in place as soon as possible, but all in all, I think I can conclude that the call was actually very positive. We have to mention that still we have nothing, in the sense that we got a step closer towards a potential partnership, and since he really clearly started also by expressing that the situation that we are in right now is very unfortunate for both parties. For them, he explained really clearly how what we were doing was really costly for them and costed them a lot of money, and why it was that they mentioned to not accept any returns anymore. And on the other side, we could explain why not accepting any returns anymore, what that would do for our business. And therefore ultimately we got way closer to each other and got a way better understanding, and I think that's really important. He also again mentioned the potential he sees in our business and in our concept, and I think that if we wanted, we ultimately still would be able to find each other and find something that works. That belief is back since he is willing to talk, and he was really he had a really honest way of talking. He showed an open perspective, and I think that's the most important, and then we could ultimately again find each other. So yeah, considering what the clip that you did just see and how I felt yesterday, this is really positive. Of course, as I said, the sun is shining again here in the Netherlands, but still we don't have anything. We are still more dead than alive, I think, but we are one step closer, and for now that's, I believe, the only thing that counts. So yeah, happy about that, but still so many uncertainties, not sure what's going to happen, but I keep on believing that when we can stay in touch with each other, when we can keep on talking, we will find something that works. And ultimately it's the most important to keep thinking about ways we can do so, to ultimately put in place a way that works for everyone. So with that being said, getting back at the office straight away and get back to work, think, strategize on what the next steps will look like. I just really quickly wanted to record this video, and with that being said, I'll see you again once there's an update. Ciao, ciao. Hello. It's currently Wednesday, a week after the call and the last clip that I recorded just after that call. I'm currently walking the dog, as you can see, and I would love to take you with me over the thoughts that I had over the last week, especially considering the last email we received, which he sent after the call, which was positive, just as the call was. It was positive considering the fact that he basically came with a form of a proposal in which he shared his ideas on how we could proceed. But important to mention that that meal was on Thursday evening, and that meal, I was really positive after that meal, since he, in contrary to how he communicated earlier, where he didn't want to work at all, he himself proposed some ways on how we could proceed, as mentioned, and therefore he clearly showed that he again was open to see how we could help each other, which I think is really positive and is the most important thing if you want to work together. But however, to make my point, after we replied to that mail on Friday, in which we asked him to schedule a call in which we want to share our thoughts on how to proceed and get a better understanding on his situation, so that we can find a solution that works for all parties. He basically didn't respond for a week, or at least till today. It's currently Wednesday, so 5 days technically. So we sent him a follow-up, after which he responded really quickly. He did just responded a couple hours ago. And all in all, that meal wasn't that positive, to say so. The plan is right now to get a step closer to him, to give him all we got, give him what he is looking for, and I think that's ultimately the way on how we could get him to move. And once we got him to move, that's where we could actually make something happen. Since I think it's important to mention and also to consider for future situations like this, and to take a lesson out of this, to mention that he is not really feeling like doing anything if it's not helping him, which is also completely logical, right? It makes total sense. He wants to see how we could help him and solve his problems, and that's also really a lesson I took out of this, is again, how could we really solve your problem, especially when you're negotiating like this. It feels like we are playing like real life chess, move after move. He makes a move and it's our time to think again, and that's new for me. A lot of lessons I can take out of that, but the update is that we are going to make him an offer he can't refuse, in a way that we will propose him that we could potentially order all of his stock items, and once that's done, and once we are doing that, his problem is solved, and we want to see how we could integrate even deeper from there. I think that's definitely ultimately the goal. But I think by giving him what we have, solving thereby his problem, and then getting him to move, and once he's moving, we can take him step by step towards where we are looking for. And I think a situation like this, but also really once more points out the importance of understanding. In this case it's reading, it's thinking, but in other cases it will be listening to the one that you're speaking with, seeing things from his or her perspective, and understand what he or she wants, so that you could offer them something that they are looking for. After which, once that's done, you can discuss how that will look like and how that would help all parties involved. But everyone is looking for something for their own, is for their own benefits. And that's really a lesson I took out of this. I'm still positive on what we could do with this way of working, with this way of communicating. I hope we can get him to move and ultimately get in place what we are looking for, the deeper integration. And by following this route, I'm positive that we could get that to happen, that we could make that happen. But in the end, we will see. In the couple weeks we will get the answer. Tomorrow we are going to reply again, in which we are basically going to communicate this, and then we will see what's going to happen, what the reply will be, and whether we could get this to work. So yeah, with that being said, I would love to wrap up this part of the video, and then you will see me again once we got a reply and proceed. And with that being said, I'm also wrapped up the evening walk, so conclude the video right over here. Hello everyone, welcome to a new part of the video. To be honest, I'm not sure exactly where I left this off, where I ended the last part that I recorded of this video. I'm not a professional vlogger, to say the least, but what I do know is that earlier we were having trouble with the fact that we needed to be concrete. With him, I believe I left it off at the fact that we wanted to do him a final offer and give him basically everything we got, after which he responded that ultimately we needed to make an economic analysis of what we had in front of us, which is what we did, which I think was really positive, since we finally were able to get to the point and discuss what this is really about and what we needed to get in place. So he gave us some rough numbers from his side, after which we run the numbers, run the calculations, and that was actually that calculation that we did was actually pretty profitable. Like, it was really doable with what we had in front of us, with what the opportunities were, and straight from there we were making 20% gross margins on what we were selling, like 35 euros per order. But then after a week, after which he responded that he would get back to it in detail this week, and he did just responded like 2 hours ago, in which he all of a sudden added another 35 euros in costs to his costs that he provided to us earlier. He mentioned fulfillment cost, where he said 50 euros, and then he said in this new mail 65, and then he all of a sudden mentioned production cost, which he didn't mention at all before. So all in all of a sudden he said we basically have nothing left combined if we combine the profits, and therefore we don't see a future in this model. And to be honest, I don't really know how to proceed from here. I was stubborn, and I was determined to keep on knocking on the door, with the conviction that we had something that could work. But if the conclusion would be that in the end it doesn't, considering all of the logistics costs that that there are, considering the model, then that will be a fair conclusion, I think. And then in the end, it actually didn't work. However, right now I find it difficult to accept that, considering the fact that right now, as it stands, he says that it costs them 105 euros to process an order of 15 items, which makes that it costs them 7 euros to sell an item, which I think is brutal. That's madness. That doesn't make any sense. I don't want to say directly that I don't believe him and that he's fooling us, but right now, I don't know. I find it really difficult to comprehend what the exact situation is and how to proceed from here, especially. And yeah, since in this series I wanted to share everything. At the moment that it presents itself, I just felt like I wanted to get this off my chest and share with you how the current situation is looking like, and the fact that, to be honest, I don't actually know exactly on how to proceed right now, since if there really isn't the willingness from him to get this to work, and I don't want to throw it after that and say that it's all due to that. And I also find it really difficult to do so, since when we have to close this book ultimately and conclude with the fact that it didn't work, like, I'm okay with that. I had that realization already some time ago that's a realistic possibility, but then I would love that to be for a viable reason, right? And right now, for me, that isn't yet there. And then I find it just personally really difficult to comprehend and to accept that. So yeah, again, as I said, I don't know exactly what the next steps will look like. I also don't know what we have to do right now, how to respond to this, what our chances are. But what I do know is that, like, realistically, considering the situation, there's a really high likelihood that this business, this venture, this adventure comes to an end, and will come to an end by approximately the end of this month. And it really hurts to say that, even though over the past months that's also, as I said, like something that I really realized would be a possibility. And I wouldn't say that I accepted that already, but I kept that in mind and kept that as a possibility, and that possibility is really likely to happen now. So yeah, with that being said, this isn't the end of the story yet, but considering how I feel right now and the chances that we have with this mail and this reply from his side, I consider the likelihood really low to proceed. And therefore, I just wanted to share how I feel at this moment, and also get these thoughts off my chest, since I feel, especially when I don't know exactly what to do, since normally I'm able to get the details together and decide what to do, like, pretty good. But to be honest, I right now don't know exactly what to do, and that's somehow kind of difficult sometimes, or at least I have difficulties with that to say the least, and therefore I also felt like I wanted to get this off of my chest, and sometimes recording it in a form like this helps. And I would love to conclude this part of the video just right there. And who knows what will happen. Again, this isn't the end of the story yet, and we will see what will happen. Thank you. Hello everyone. This clip that you're seeing now will be the last part of this video. It will be the last video of this series. So after this clip I will upload it, and yeah, I won't upload any videos anymore, at least not in this season, to say the least, since I'm standing right now just before our office. As you can see, like, I'm still wrapping up the final things. The light is still on, and I will wrap that up after this quick walk. But yeah, I wanted to record this video now to tell you that it is over. This season, this chapter, this business, this adventure, it is over. Revive ultimately comes to an end after 2 years in which we put it in everything we got. Last Wednesday, the 4th of March, it's currently, I believe it's currently Saturday, I believe it's the 8th of March. And that was the day, that Wednesday, that we got the email from Selpy, in which they ultimately concluded that the economic analysis that we made simply wasn't good enough. In the end, we can conclude that the business model isn't efficient enough. The logistics costs that they presented to us for the orders in the way that we fulfilled them were like 105 euros. So we can conclude that even with the premium that we were able to ask for the clothing, we were not able to get the model profitable and make sense to invest in this model, to invest in the integration, due to all the logistics handling that was involved with this model, with which we are sending such big boxes of clothing to the customer, and in which they are free to pick and decide what they want to keep and return what they don't like. And in this model, the return rates, of course, are very high, and that was in the end too much for Selpy. And even though I think 105 euros is a lot, and with all the emerging technologies that are coming up with robotics and with AI, we could have got this to work, but eventually this is the conclusion that we have to make, which again means that it is over. There won't be no what if scenario anymore. It's over for our company, for the concept that we built. It comes to an end, and as I said in the beginning of this clip, I know this will be a really long video since it concludes of 2 quarters, the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026. But how these 2 quarters were for me is also how it has been recorded in this video, with all the different clips that I inserted. But what I wanted to say is that also how I started this clip, for me this feels like it's the end of the season. It's not the end of the chapter, it's not the end of the book, not the end of the story. We will find something else in. And apparently this was meant to be, that was supposed to happen. We failed, that's what we can conclude, but I'm proud to do so while giving it all we got. A unconditional amount of faith that we put into this business. An unconditional amount of faith that we constantly had that it was going to be all right. Turned out to be false, not true, or at least, again, not in this venture, not in this business. We will be all right. Like, even though it's dark inside and you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, like Avatar said, when you keep on moving, eventually there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So that's exactly what we will do. We will keep on moving. This is just, as I said, the end of the chapter and not the end of the story. It has been hard to conclude this and to realize this, but that's how life is. I can look back at a wonderful period, a wonderful 2 years of my life. I will never forget this. I learned so many things, and this has been the base layer for everything that will come. For me as a person, I think I developed a lot, and also for me as a leader, as a business person, I think I learned a lot of valuable lessons, which apparently I had to learn. So that makes that ultimately I can look back at this period with fulfillment. I'm proud of what we built, of what we did, but ultimately of the inputs that we inserted in this project, in this dream. With everyone involved, we gave it all we got, and it wasn't enough in this case. But that's okay. That's life. We went all in. We went all out on the attack, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that's the story. That's the story for this venture. And I'm grateful for the journey. Actually, I am truly grateful for the journey. I'm right now here walking around, as you probably have seen multiple times in these videos, here at this like business district, part of my small town, where our office is at too. We'll be closing the office at the end of April, so a bit less than 2 months we have left to fulfill the final orders. And then me and my brother, we will find something else. We will come up with a new idea, invent something new, and go all in on something new. Probably we will move out of the Netherlands to really step into that new adventure, and step into that new chapter with fresh energy, in a new environment, and make it happen. I mean, we had nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. So we will take all the lessons with us and build something new. That truly gives me new fresh energy. The last couple months has been tough. I haven't been able to insert the passion, the energy that I had, like how I did it over the past year. I haven't been able to do that over the past couple months, since we were so dependent on other parties. And I'm looking forward to do that again, to come up with a new plan and dedicate everything we had towards that new plan. And therefore I'm grateful that this is the conclusion, or not that this is the conclusion, but the fact that we have a conclusion now, that we have an answer to the questions that we had. And then again, we will find something new. The last 2 days I was in England with I want to finish the video on this note, that the last 2 days I was in England with my mom and with my brother. And also we were watching a game of my sister, who played for the under 23 squad of the Netherlands. And I'm mentioning this since that also felt like that's this small trip, just being out out of the country, out of this town into a new environment, even though it's just for that quick, for that small of a period, just literally 1 or 2 days. Yeah, it signifies an end of an era, an end of a chapter, as mentioned, and that's truly how it feels for me too. I'm also really proud on her. That's a feeling that I have and that I really quickly wanted to share too. And yeah, also she inserted a lot of energy into this company, like we all did. And yeah, that 2 days gave me the possibility to again, grab my thoughts together, stand still, and realize what we did. And those realizations will continue to come, I believe, since like it will take some time to really process this. But yeah, that's part of the process, that's part of life, and I'm again truly grateful for this journey, for this period in my life. I will never forget this, and I think that's where life is about. You win some, you lose some, and from the losses you have, probably you will learn even more. Excuse me for the sound. I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. It looks like there's a party there, but either way, I wanted to say that I realized that from these type of lessons you learn even more, and in a couple years we can look back at this period and do that with a smile on my face. And actually I'm already able to do just that right now. And yeah, that's how I want to conclude this video, this part, this series, this season, with a smile on my face, here standing in front of our office. This was it for us, for Revive, for this company, for this adventure. We'll find something new, and once we have it, who knows, I will upload a new season. Thank you for watching, thank you for following this journey, and we will see what's coming. Ciao, ciao.